What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the We Run on Coffee podcast. I'm Erica,
And I'm Marissa.
and this week we are going to bring you guys a super fun topic. If you
hmm
watched our interview last week, you kind of heard Hunter say at the end, like she always wakes up on Wednesday, like about to watch the pod and like wonders what we're going to talk about, which I thought was really cute because we really are unpredictable with the
I feel like
topics.
we are.
Yeah.
We are so
We are
unpredictable.
doing different things every single week that are so, I mean, sometimes we do find like little ways that they intertwine, but also they just feel so random at the same time,
hmm
like the most random topics. But Marissa's going to be giving us a little background today on tarot. This is something we've
Yes.
talked about for a while, but we haven't done, and it's just the perfect time.
Yeah. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's something that I've wanted to learn about too, and
Yeah.
like just learn more about. And I feel like this is like the perfect opportunity for me to start learning a little bit more about it.
100%. I know. Also, this is like a little on topic and off topic, but my aunt said that she needs me to ask you some if you have any recommendations in Salem because she's going with her best friend. They love same kind of thing as you, like they love the spooky stuff, the haunted stuff,
Okay.
and they're going the week before Halloween. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'll ask
Okay.
Marissa because she was like, I want to know where we should go, but I don't want to do like just all the touristy things that you find online. Like I want to
Yeah.
like just know the best places." So I was like, "Okay, I'll ask her." So it's
Yeah,
kind of
I'll
on theme for
definitely
this.
send you a couple of things to like tell
Yeah,
her and forward on
I
because
will.
everybody that I've told, like Hunter just went to Salem for a
Yeah.
day because she was in like
Oh,
Boston
that's
for a
right.
work trip. And I think that
Hmm.
she did take a day trip to Salem and she asked me places to go. So I feel like
Yeah.
I have like a good little list
You're
going.
our Salem recommender. I
I
love it.
know. I can't wait to go back one of these days. I loved it so
Apparently, I need to
much.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I feel like you would like
Anyways.
it too because like you like witchy things in another way. Like you think of it, I
Oh,
think of it
yeah.
as like you like making little potions, which is like your like laundry
Love.
detergent and stuff.
Yeah, that's so
Like I feel
true.
like you like things like that, which are like a
Yeah.
little witchier. Like
Yeah. I
I
can
don't know. You
totally
like the hands-on
appreciate it.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say like I'm a particularly spooky person or like into
Mm-hmm.
haunted things, things like that, but I'm not a hater either. Like I can totally
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. And I think it sounds really fun. It's an experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway, before we dive too far into this episode and go on our many tangents, what are you drinking?
I feel like I should be drinking water because that's what I normally drink on a second episode of the day.
Yeah.
But I'm back on my Dr. Pepper grind.
Oh, okay.
So I
Love
have a
it.
Dr. Pepper in a little
Stop.
koozie
That koozie is
here.
literally a crock. Is that a bog bag
It
koozie?
is a bog
That's
bag
so funny.
koozie.
My mom has a
Kyle's
bog
mom
bag.
Kyle's mom got everybody bog bags like
Yeah.
years ago for like
Yeah.
Christmas. She was
That's so
obsessed with
funny.
them. So
Yeah.
we got a bog bag
Yeah.
and it came with the koozie. So
Love.
I
That's
like it. I feel like it
hilarious.
doesn't actually keep my drinks that cold,
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't think it would, honest,
I
to be
like it. I
honest.
think it's cute.
It is cute. It's literally looks like a crock. I always make fun of my mom's bog bag and she gets so mad. It's hilarious. But I'm always making fun of it because I'm like, Mom, you paid so much money for a crock shoe bag. And she's like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Well, it's like I only use mine to go to the pool. And like
Yeah, I
I'd
think that makes
probably take it
sense.
to the
Or the
beach,
beach.
but I
Yeah.
haven't really been to the beach since I've had it. So
Yeah. If
I
you
feel
live
like
by the beach, I
that's
bet you'd use it like a lot more, just like
yeah, for
generally.
sure. I feel like it's a good
Bag.
waterproof durable bag.
Oh yeah, 100%. My mom uses honestly, she uses hers a lot though. She like keeps it in the trunk because it's so structured. She keeps it in the trunk of her car and uses it to take stuff in and out to the car because she has 100 kids, so she's always in the car. But it's smart. I'm drinking my same coffee, you guys, that I was drinking in our last episode, which is a chocolate caramel sweet cream. No, not caramel. What?
Cherry?
Chocolate cherry sweet cream cold brew non-dairy. I don't know, something from Starbucks. And then I also have my big boy water with my little succulent on top.
No.
So yeah, I haven't even started drinking that, so I definitely
That's
should.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna start with what we're looking forward to, and then we will get into the episode, you guys. But the first thing I have to say is to tune into video, okay? If you're hearing me right now, which if you're listening, I sure hope that you're actually hearing me. Tune into our video on Spotify or YouTube today because we're gonna have photos in today's episode, but also we're hot. Do you even know what we look like? If you're listening
Yeah.
to this and you only listen to audio, do you even know who we look like? Do you
Mm-mm.
Okay, now this is actually interesting. Do you ever see a picture of us if you're listening to this and you've never seen us
And you
talk?
think
Do
we
you know
the
who is who?
opposite?
Yeah, like do you know
Yeah.
who is which voice? That would be interesting. I would really love to hear from someone who thought we were opposite. That would be
Yeah. I
so
feel like we
interesting.
don't sound very similar.
Yeah, I honestly I have no idea. I feel like I'm such a bad judge of like voice. I don't know. Like I'm like I don't even know what I sound like.
I
To
don't
me,
know
I always
either.
thought I had like a lower voice, and maybe I
Mm-hmm.
do, but then I don't know. I just don't have a perception of myself. You know what I mean? But we're
Just
hot. That's all
don't
I'm trying to
perceive
say.
me.
Don't perceive me. But
But see, I'm hot.
yeah, but do come to the video. Anyways, come to the video. We have pictures. Anyway, let's talk about what we're looking forward to. What's coming up for you?
Um, I have an eye appointment tomorrow, so maybe
Oh,
my prescription will get
I just had
worse.
mine. Mine did.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot, but mine did. I just ordered new glasses.
I have a feeling mine will be a little bit worse. I was looking at something. Oh, I was trying to look at my phone in the grocery store yesterday and I
Mm.
couldn't read what was on the screen.
Oh
So
no.
I
Oh
was nervous
no.
about that. And I
Yeah.
have been getting, I don't know what it is, Erica. I have not been able to sleep for like 3 months. And I feel like I'm having a
Uh-oh.
hard time telling if my headaches are from not sleeping or if they're from maybe my glasses or if I'm just like discombobulated or what. It's
We need to
just
work
like,
on your feng shui in there.
I guess
Make some
I can't
changes.
sleep.
Yeah.
This is scary. I wake up every night at 3 a.m. I'm not kidding.
I don't like the sound of that.
I don't either. The other night, Erica, I literally almost woke up at 3:33. It was 3:34 and I was so scared.
I don't like that. Yeah, because it might have been 3:34 when you opened your eyes, but what about at
I
3:33 something
know.
woke you up?
I know. And we
Okay.
just heard Hunter just told us a scary story about what happened last night. It wasn't in the pod, but like she had something scary happen to her last
Yeah, just
night.
like in the night. Ugh.
Erica heard a scary story about what
On
happening
the
to like
news.
another family, like a
Yeah.
scary news story. And I'm like, why am I
I don't want
waking
to be
up
scared.
at 3 a.m.? This is so
Yeah.
scary every
Yeah.
single night. Last night, I think I woke up at 4 and I felt a little bit better about that.
Like I made it another hour.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
there's been like one night recently I've slept through the night and I'm just like, I'm
Oh,
tossing and
it's
turning and I'm
horrible.
like, it's horrible. But
Yeah.
that's not what I'm looking forward to. I'm
No,
looking forward
definitely
to my
not.
eye appointment. This is such a tangent already. I have my follow-up this week too for my
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was at a housewarming party for like a friend yesterday, and I did walk around a little bit because
Yeah.
we were playing Pong, and I could not
Mm.
just stand there on my crutches and play Pong. I was never gonna make a ball in.
Oh my God.
So I had to like stand on both my feet and like throw the ball.
Yeah.
And I sucked at Pong. It was so
You're out
bad.
of practice.
I know we like did 3 rounds and I was on like everybody's team. So I was on Owen's team, I was on my friend Maddie's team, and then I was on Kyle's team.
Yeah.
And I was horrible all the time.
I apparently suck at flip cup. Learned that at your wedding. That was my first time ever playing that ever in my
I'm
life.
I'm really good at flip cup.
Apparently, I suck.
But I am looking forward to my follow-up appointment. I'm hoping that he tells me I can be off of crutches. I guess I'm not hoping. I am hoping, but I'm not hopeful, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
if
yeah.
that makes
You don't
sense.
expect that to happen, but you hope so.
Yeah, but I will be begging him to be off of crutches because Erica, I have 47 ingrown hairs in my armpits from these stupid
Stop.
crutches. I
Oh, that's
have
horrible.
chafing burn marks on my
Mm,
armpits, like on my lats.
yeah.
I have literally a callus on my hand from
Oh
my
my God.
crutches.
Yeah.
I have blisters.
I don't like
I'm
that.
in so much pain. I can't do the
Yeah.
crutches anymore. So if he tells me I need 2 more weeks, I'm going to ask for a boot because I can't
Yeah.
keep doing this
100%.
anymore.
That's horrible.
And it's springtime. I want to go outside. I want to go on walks.
Yes.
And I can
Yeah.
go on a walk in a boot. I cannot
Hmm.
go on a walk in crutches. I want to be
Hmm.
outside. I want to be enjoying nature. I
Yeah.
have to get back into lab at work. It's proficiency testing season
Oh.
for us, and our proficiency tests are due April 14th. And
Hmm.
as we're recording this, April 1st is this week. So,
Yeah.
like I have to get my test done.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really hopeful that it
You
will be
better
a
work.
good appointment. And I'm getting my hair cut next
Oh,
weekend.
that's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'll be nice. Okay. Well, that is all so much.
I know.
Dang. You're right. There were a lot of updates.
There are a lot of
Um,
updates. Oh, we're starting a volleyball league, but again, I
oh,
can't
fun.
play.
Yeah. You're just gonna be watching.
Yeah,
Cheerleader.
until I can play again.
That totally sucks. I have today a 5 mile ruck. I'm very
Yay.
excited. We did last week 5 miles kind of on accident. I mapped a route that I thought was around 4.7, 4.5, but it wasn't. It was longer because I just kind of guesstimated really. But it was about 5, and we were like, oh my God, we did 5, like feeling good. So working our way up to our half marathon summer ruck, you guys. Let's see what else we have going on. This week's Taylor's birthday and this week's Taylor's house closing on the same day, actually.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
fun. So me and Angela were gonna bring her like, okay, in Columbus, you guys, there's a chain called Harvest. Have you had Harvest or do you know
Hmm.
about it?
I've heard about it.
Oh, good. Taylor and I like it because you can get vegan cheese that doesn't taste like shit. So that's our fave. So I'm gonna bring her pizza, and me and Angelo and her are going to eat pizza on the floor in her new house, like for her birthday. So that will be really
Aw.
fun. What else do I have going on this week?
Such
Just
a birthday gift for herself, a whole
a
house.
whole house. I know. She was like, "What if I just made closing day on my birthday?" I'm like, "You should. That's a great idea. It's so
Yeah.
cute." And she gets to take like half a day from work, which will be nice to just go figure it out. I feel like that's so exciting. Like a really good way to bring in a new
Hmm.
year. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, and then we're gonna have like an actual celebration day with all her other friends, on Saturday, and then after that, me and Angelo are gonna be staying in another town, woohoo, for his work. So we're gonna be out of the city for 2 weeks. So that will just be something fun and different. Next time I podcast, I'll be in a different room.
That's
That'll be cool.
weird.
I know. We'll see what it looks like. I have no idea. We're leaving on Sunday, and we don't have anywhere to stay yet. Like it's still not done.
Like
So
like a week from today.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So this week, yes, figure that out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We do have a comedy show before the next recording. Actually, we're gonna go see, Bobby Lee. I think
Hmm.
he's gonna be so funny. He's at the Columbus Funny Bone, and it's so cheap. It's like $40, I think, which I feel like is pretty good
Wow.
for him. I feel like he's pretty famous. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna go to that and then go back to our hotel or Airbnb, wherever we're gonna be. And then it will be Easter. So much is coming up. We're getting
Yay.
into like honestly a busy part of the year when spring starts picking up again, I feel like.
Hmm.
um there's life. I The seasonal affective disorder has been hitting. My boss this week called me on a huddle, and she was like, "I'm actually just calling to see if you're okay." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "I can just tell like you're not yourself, like you're not as peppy as usual, and I'm just wondering what's going on." I was like, "Oh no, people can tell." Angela, and then after, Angela was like, "Yeah, I wondered when that was going to happen." I was like, "Babe, oh my God." So apparently I've been sad. So I'm also just excited for things to pick back up. I went to the doctor, got blood work, like I said in the last episode, deficient on a couple vitamins. So I got my multivitamins going, and yeah, got my therapist. Things are good, but I'm like ready for spring to turn a corner. Like we
Hmm.
need the good weather. I need to be outside, barefoot on my patio, like getting grounded in the earth. That's what I need.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon. But
Okay.
yeah,
I'm so excited.
so excited.
Okay, so I have a book today, guys. This is my only
Yes.
resource that I use. So I got this
So
book when I
cute.
was in Salem, and I actually got this book before I even got any tarot cards because I was so excited to learn about it. And I
Yeah.
haven't had an opportunity to read through the entire book, but I did skim a good bit of it yesterday. A
Hmm.
lot of the pages in the book are just meanings behind the cards, but there
Love.
is like some good history and how it works and like just some good information on tarot. So it's called
Hmm.
Llewellyn's Little Book of Tarot. It's by
Cute.
Barbara Moore, and you can get it on Amazon, and I'll include the link like in
Cool.
the description. But I really like this book. She has a bunch of books. I think she has over 70 little books
Oh,
of,
wow.
and they're on like all different
Different
topics. So I
topics.
think
That's
it's pretty
cute.
cool if like I think she has some on like gardening and stuff like that
Oh, that's
too. So
cute.
it'd be really cool to like see all the
Pick
different
up
like
some other ones. Yeah.
yeah, all the different ones she
Might have to
has.
start a series.
I know. So, we're going to first start by talking a little bit about the history of tarot.
Hmm.
So, tarot cards were found in Europe in the late 15th century, so forever ago. And they were handmade playing cards that were hand painted, and they were used
Whoa.
by nobles to play a card game called tarocchi, which is similar to like a game of bridge. Have you
That's
ever
so
played
cool.
bridge?
No, I have not.
Me neither. So I really don't know what that is. And I tried to look up Tarachi, but there's like not really good information on
Hmm.
it because it's probably just like a lost game at this point. Like
Right.
nobody really knows how to play it.
Yeah.
But it was a card game played by nobles in the
Hand
early
painted is
50s.
crazy.
I know. They were like gorgeous,
Oh,
gorgeous
I believe
cards.
it.
They were like made
Yeah.
on slate, they were hand painted,
Love.
and they were hard. They were not
Hmm.
like bendy cards
Right.
like this
That's
one
so
is.
cool. That would be fun. Like, you know how all these girls' night craft nights are always on TikTok and stuff? That'd be a cool one.
Make your own
Paint
tarot
tarot
cards.
cards. We should
That
do
would
that.
take a while because we'll get into it, but there are 78 tarot cards in a
Wow. We all
traditional
just pick our
deck.
favorite, yeah, and paint one. That would be really cool though. Maybe our first We Run on Coffee Girls Club can be making a meetup and painting tarot cards. That would be cool.
I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, I like
I mean,
that.
I'm horrible at arts and crafts, so I would need you to paint all of mine
That's
for
fine.
me, but
We'll draw like the outline for you and then you can just trace
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Love.
So experimentation with tarot cards and fortune telling began later on in time, so around the 18th century. At first, it
Hmm.
was just that regular card game, but
Okay.
it wasn't really until the early 20th century that divination with tarot really blew up. So that's like the whole fortune telling aspect that
Okay.
we know now, where you're like, ask a
Hmm.
question, the cards will help you get to the right answer, or they'll tell you something about like what's going on in your life.
Uh-huh. Okay.
There's many different types of tarot decks, but I feel like the most common one is the Rider-Waite deck, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the most popular one to like learn with in the United States. So the photos that I'll show later, if you want to scroll down like the document really quickly, you
Hmm.
might have seen these images before. These are from
Yeah.
the Rider-Waite deck. So like this is the most common imagery you're gonna
Okay.
see with like all the different tarot interpretation.
Yeah. Okay.
But there are many different. So like the ones that I have are Hocus Pocus
So
themed.
cute.
So I got my
Love
little
that.
box here. And I wanted these because I love the movie Hocus Pocus, and I think that it's
Yeah.
just like cool, fun thing. But I would
Yeah.
like to get a traditional deck. I feel like it'd be really cool to just have like a traditional
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So how does tarot work? A traditional tarot deck has 78 cards, and these are divided into two main parts. There's the major arcana and the minor arcana. So these are typically like how you would vision like a regular playing cards. So the
Okay.
minor arcana is like the suits, and it goes
Oh,
from
okay.
8 to 10, including like kings, queens, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then the major arcana, those ones are like they're just like face cards, but there's
Mm-hmm.
like 22 of them, and they're just specific like face
Okay.
cards. They all have their own meanings.
Okay.
So the 22 major arcana cards are labeled with a number 0 to 21, and then they have a name. So this
Mm-hmm.
is like where you typically hear of like the Fool, the Lovers,
Yeah. The death
Devil, the
card or whatever.
Tower. Yeah,
Okay.
things like that.
Fine.
But the minor arcana, like I was saying, are broken down a little bit further into four suits. So just like a regular deck of playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
And the suits for tarot are wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And these
Mm-hmm.
are the ones you're going to often see as different names depending on like the theme of the cards. So I
Yeah.
think that in the Hocus Pocus deck, they have, of course, it's not listed on here. I think that it's something super similar to that, but it's
Yeah.
not quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
We'll eventually figure them out later. There's
Cute.
candles,
Oh. Oh,
potions.
that's cute.
That was candles again. That one's candles again. That's potions. This is unhelpful. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
And they like in a regular deck of playing cards again, how many times can I say that? There are number cards, ace through 10, including king and queen and
Mm-hmm.
knight as
Okay.
well.
Cool.
Symbolism is big in tarot, and each card has an image on it, and there are some common symbols usually used in
Mm-hmm.
tarot. So now I'm
Okay.
going to go to my book and I'm going to read some of the common symbols. I was telling Erica I wrote down like the page numbers to reference because
Yeah.
I was not just going to completely copy down the book into the notes. I was like, I'll
Yeah.
just read from the book
A hundred
instead.
percent. Makes sense.
So some common symbols. Several cards have pillars or towers on either side of the central character, indicating balance or the
Mm-hmm.
middle path. Sometimes one pillar is white and the other is black, showing the balance of opposing forces. I feel like that one's
Mm.
a common one that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers can have meaning. White flowers, often lilies, are purity. Red flowers, usually roses, are passion. Yellow ones, such as sunflowers, are vitality and life. And flowers can be actual flowers or pictured on banners or flags. So, like, there might be flowers in the card, or there might just be like flowers in imagery on the card.
Right. Yeah.
Um, if a figure is wearing a crown or a hat, it can represent that their mind or what is on their mind or their top priority. When nudity is used in tarot, it usually means purity, which is, I feel
Mm.
like, the opposite of what you would think.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess not trigger warning, but just like a important thing. The
Mm-hmm.
cards that we might be using might have some images of nudity just because I
Yeah.
wanted to stick to the same deck. So
Deck. Yeah.
there might be some like small
Content
images
warning
of
for the
nudity.
for the kitties.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Um, angels can mean divine messages. That one I feel
Mm.
like
That's
is
cool.
clear.
Yeah.
And then birds are associated with thoughts and communication. Butterflies are like associated with transformation. And I feel like I've
Okay.
heard that before. Is like
Yeah.
butterflies usually
Makes
mean
sense.
transformation.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah. So breaking it down a little bit more. So when cards are pulled, what do they mean? The major arcana cards typically represent larger life events. These are the
Okay.
often obvious. So marriage,
Oh
moving,
yeah.
getting divorced, things like that. The things that you would
Mm-hmm.
think of as like often big life events. But as always, all big life changes aren't obvious and they can come as surprises. So when you're pulling a major arcana card and it's like the death card,
Mm-hmm.
like that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to die. I feel like that's the
Right.
biggest like
Yeah.
misconception, but it just means something surprising might be
Yeah.
happening.
It's kind of like when we did the dreams episode, and it's like when you dream you're cheating, it doesn't mean you're going to go cheat. It could mean something else in your life. Or when you dream you're pregnant, it means a new beginning. It doesn't necessarily just mean you're pregnant.
Yeah,
It's all
exactly.
about the interpretation.
Yeah, for sure. And these cards are not meant to be like end all be all, but they're meant to
Yeah.
serve some sort of guidance in your life.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So this part was really fun, and I loved learning about this part. So just like in numerology, you can calculate your birth cards
Hmm.
in tarot, and it's done the exact same way that you figure out
Fun.
your life path number. So
Yeah.
this is actually super easy because we've done
We already did.
numerology before, and
Yes.
we knew how to calculate our life path numbers.
Hmm.
So you can calculate your birth cards in tarot to find a card that can give significant meaning. These cards can show your natural strength and weakness. The card you're drawn to most represents strength in areas of comfort, and the other can
Wow.
demonstrate your weakness in areas of struggle. So you were given two birth cards. In one instance, if you have a certain number, you have three birth
Uh-huh.
cards, and you
Okay.
just honestly look at it, pick which one's your favorite, and that can show your strengths. And then
Yeah.
whichever one is not your favorite, that is typically going to show your weaknesses.
Wow. That's
And I
cool.
thought that was so cool.
That is.
So you calculate your birth cards by adding up all the digits of your birthday until you get a number 21 or less. And I feel like 21 was also the number
Mm-hmm.
in
The life
life path
path.
numbers.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's almost exactly like calculating your life path number. So Erica was an 11 and I was a
Yes.
6, if you remember all the way back from then.
Yeah.
So, Erica, I want you to look at these cards here.
Okay.
You have Justice and High Priestess. So, which one are you more
Okay.
drawn to?
This is actually tough. I was looking at the pictures and I don't even know how to answer that because I feel like I want to be more drawn to the high priestess. I feel like that's the one I want to like. I like the aesthetics of it. I like how it looks, but I just felt like it's not. I just feel like I'm supposed to pick the other one. So I don't even know how to
Really?
answer that. I don't know. Like I really don't know. I think I like the aesthetics more of the high priestess one, but I guess if I'm thinking about which am I more drawn to or like which one do I connect with more, I actually feel like it's the justice one. So I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, like
Which
how do
one
I
do you want
pick?
to hear first? Mine's actually
Mm.
pretty apparent to me. So my
Uh-huh.
cards are the devil and the lovers.
Yeah.
And before I even knew that you could have birth cards, I have
Yeah.
always loved the lovers card.
That's
Been
crazy.
my favorite, like ever since I learned what tarot
Yeah.
is. I don't even
Yeah.
know what that card means, if I'm being honest, but the
Right.
just like
Just
the
the imagery.
icon of it and the imagery, I love it.
Yeah. I think I like the imagery of the high priestess more. I just think the justice is actually more me, if I'm being honest with myself.
Oh,
So like
okay.
I don't know, but I like the picture better on high priestess.
Okay.
That's what I'll
So
say.
do you want me to read High Priestess
Yeah.
first? Okay.
Let's see.
So the High Priestess, there's some keywords associated with this one. It's
Hmm.
secrets, mystery, intuition, insight, subconscious, and unrevealed
Mm.
future.
See, doesn't that not sound like me? And I almost feel like it's funny because I said that's the one I shouldn't go with, but I like the picture the best. It's like I
Hmm.
want to be like high priestess, but I don't feel like I am.
Maybe.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
the high priestess is the part of ourselves that is most connected with the divine, our higher
Oh.
self, or our intuition. The
Hmm.
moon and water imagery represent this deep thirst for something more, something mysterious. Listen to that
Ooh.
quiet inner voice that gets so easily drowned out by the clutter of everyday life.
Mm.
Do you remember what you said last episode about trying to be more true to yourself?
Yes. Oh my God. That's so crazy.
Dreams, divination, and meditation are great ways to tune in. And you
Ooh,
love
dreams. I
dreams.
have dreams. Like I have dreams. I've had this. I didn't even share this on the podcast, but I think there were 3 or 4 nights in a row where I had either pregnancy dream, like multiple times in a row, or I had a very specific one where Angelo and I were in the car and Angelo accidentally drove us off the side of the road into water and the car was sinking, but we got out and we got to the road. And when we were on the road, we were really happy and excited for some reason. And when I looked that up, it means the same thing as pregnancy dream, which is like a part of your life is closing and you're going into a new chapter. And how you
And you
feel in the
are,
dream
kind
is how
of.
you feel about the new chapter. And we were excited. So yeah, I have been having really serious dreams too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It says, turn your attention within and trust the way of knowing what that is beyond logic.
Okay. So I wonder. Okay. I just wonder if that's my weakness card though, because I wonder if I'm not
Maybe,
good at those things, exactly like I'm saying. I'm
maybe.
interested to hear the other one. Okay.
So on these cards, it also has like a symbolism for the card. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like I guess, like if I pulled that card for you, that's what I would
Right.
read, is what I just read. But
Okay.
there is some symbolism on the card. So
Hmm.
I don't think the picture that it's shown there, the one that's in
Hmm.
my book, is a little bit better. So
Okay.
I'll show you this one
Oh,
here.
wow.
Oh no.
Yeah. I see that.
Is
Yep.
that showing? I can't
Yep.
see the camera.
Yep. We see
So
it.
there's that image. And then we also have like something called the instant answer on here
Okay.
too. So I'll go into those now. So the high priestess is usually shown with a book or a scroll representing inner wisdom that is not read with
Mm.
the eyes, but with the soul. Her hands
Mm.
are folded in prayer, a way to connect with the divine. The key has a small heart and a large heart, indicating that the discipline of inner seeking is the key to connecting your human heart with your divine heart.
Ooh,
I like that.
interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
And then the instant answer says, you already know what to do. You don't need anyone else to validate your wisdom.
I'm kind of shook at the fact that before we did this, I said the high priestess is the one I feel like I want to choose, but I just don't think I am. Like, I feel like I relate to the justice. And just you reading that, I can agree with myself. Like, I think that
Mm.
is my weakness is like not listening to
Mm.
myself, questioning myself. Like I said in the last episode, like, I just need to stick to who I am and not question or like falter. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm
really
curious.
interesting.
I'm curious after reading Justice how you'll
If,
feel.
yeah, if that's my strength. I just have a feeling it is. I don't know, but I don't
Okay.
know what it is.
Okay, so
Okay.
keywords are justice, karma, equality, truth, responsibility, integrity,
Mm.
fairness, contract, legal action.
That sounds like my Enneagram, my
It
type
does.
oneness. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it says justice is a universal force that keeps the world in balance, also known as karma. It is broader than the human legal system. Karmic justice usually takes longer too.
Hmm.
When this card comes up, think about what you are doing because it will have important consequences. It can also remind you that if you aren't happy with your current circumstances, then you should review past behavior and see how you ended up in this pickle.
Interesting.
So the symbolism for this one, not many justice cards include a pomegranate, usually associated with the abundance and
Hmm.
fertility. Does that one have a
Oh,
pomegranate in it?
no.
The one on my book does.
But I'm intrigued by that. Like literal fertility,
I
I would
think
assume, but that's interesting. Well, first of all, there are fruits on the high priestess that look interesting in the background,
that's true.
on the document. But I don't know if this is a fertility thing, but yeah, I feel like it is. Twins run in my family. I've always talked about
Mm,
that and how I feel like I'm gonna have twins. I just do. But I feel like that is a thing of being extra fertile because fraternal
mhm.
twins, like two eggs. So
Yeah,
maybe it's like literally extra fertile.
maybe.
Interesting.
It says it is an apt symbol for actions and consequences. When
Hmm.
Persephone ate the pomegranate seeds, she had to face the consequences of staying in the underworld. The
Oh,
story has an element of fairness, negotiation, and compromise as Hades and Demeter eventually worked out a solution.
interesting.
And then the instant answer is today you are justice. Your job, restore peace and balance in your little corner of the world.
Interesting. It is very aligned with my other personality quiz things. Ooh, she's cool.
I
Yeah, she
like
is
her.
holding the pomegranate. Yeah,
Hmm.
our traditional deck here on the screen, it's just the you can see the scales and then you can see a sword
Hmm.
specifically, I think.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. But yeah, I feel like that one's really in line with my other like personality based things that we do, like the type 1 Enneagram or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
always getting like justice or like the reformer, I think was my whatever that's called, Myers-Briggs. So just interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna read the one that I think is gonna be my weakness first, because I
Okay.
think that's what I did with you. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I've always connected to like the lover's card. I
It's
feel like
pretty
the
too.
most common one, yeah, this one is where the nudity starts to come up a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah.
There are
Both of
some
yours,
naked,
actually.
yeah, there are some naked people in
Interesting.
mine,
Yeah.
but I feel like the most common lover's card I've seen is like the two skeletons like kissing each other. And I
That tracks.
really love that
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
But I'll read the devil first.
Okay.
So it says keywords are bondage, obsession, materialism, temptation, doubt, lies, hopefulness, and lack of
Mm.
options.
Interesting.
So most images of the devil are surreal and terrifying, showing a great demon lording over unfortunate prisoners. This image is more playful and more representative of modern views of the devil card.
Hmm.
Instead of selling our souls to demons, we sometimes destroy our own souls and sometimes our lives through unhealthy choices. This card asks us to consider the ways we are bound and find ways to free ourselves.
Wow. Interesting.
And instead of a symbolism, I
Hmm.
actually have a journal prompt on my
Oh,
page.
wow. Oh my gosh.
So
They're making
it
you
says,
work.
who are your devils? What devils hold you in a thrall? How did they come in your life? Were they little mischievous imps to start? How did you make them comfortable and feed them, causing them to stay and grow large? What would you do if, wait, what would you and your life be like without them? Do you ignore, excuse, or even love your devils? I feel like that's a really good
Wow.
one to like think about. And
Yeah,
I
I
feel
like
like
that. Do you
devils,
even love your devils? That's interesting.
yeah, it's like devils could be seen as like trauma or like just
Yeah.
hard circumstances. And I feel
Hmm.
like I don't know, I feel like I agree with this card a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Oh my
So my
gosh.
instant answer is don't give in to temptation. In the end, you'll regret it. But if you do, forgive yourself and keep trying to do better.
Oh, I like that. That's
Aw.
nice.
Okay, and then
Okay.
the
The lovers.
lovers.
Just reminds me, if you guys are not familiar with Blue to Tiger, look her up. Blue to Tiger sings a song and she's like, I'm seeking a lover. A lover. And it's stuck in my head now.
Aw. Okay. The keywords are choices, trust, communication, relationships, love, affection, harmony, and attraction. Of course, I feel like
Ooh.
those all make sense for the
Yeah.
lovers. The original card was called The Lover and showed a man choosing between two women. The
Ooh.
idea of choosing is still present in the card, but is mingled with the desires of the heart. This
Hmm.
card isn't about romance or marriage, though. It's about making choices that are in line with your authentic heart. Some
Ooh.
images show a sun and angel above the lovers, indicating that a
Yeah.
choice will be blessed and has life-giving qualities. This is really funny because I think this is my weakness.
I was gonna say that too, actually.
That's
Just
insane.
like, yeah, I almost wonder if they're flipped.
I do think so.
Oh my gosh.
That's
We're learning things.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Okay, and then again, instead of having a like journal prompt or
Yeah.
a symbolism, I have a tarot tip.
Oh,
It
okay.
says choices. Eliminate bias by writing your choices on pieces of paper. Fold the papers
Mm.
and mix them up so the words are hidden. Lay them out in a row. Pull three cards for each choice. Interpret them without knowing which choice they refer to. Make a
Wow.
decision, or at least an initial decision, based only on the cards. Then unfold the papers and see which is which. I
Wow.
feel
Next
like I
time you need
need
to
to
make a
do
big
that.
decision, you should try it. Yeah, I like think that's really cool. That would be
Yeah.
really
And
interesting.
I literally every week talk with my therapist about how I can't make a decision.
Yeah. Oh my
Like
gosh.
I
This is
literally
for
every
you.
week talk
This
about
is
that.
for you right now.
Ugh.
Wow.
The instant answer, it says, think about the person you really want to be. Make the choice that person would make.
I love that.
Erica,
Oh my
I
God.
love this.
Wait, I love that. Oh my gosh, I need you to do this next time you need to make a choice.
I will.
That's so
That
cool.
makes me so happy, honestly.
Wow. This is what you needed today.
I know. I didn't know I needed it.
Wow. That's amazing.
Okay, sorry, I'm flipping to the next page. So
Okay.
now we're going to talk about the minor arcana cards. So I'm
Okay.
going to read a little bit of a meaning between all the suits. So there's like a
Hmm.
page in the book talking about the meaning of each suit.
Hmm.
So wands, the suit of wands is associated with the element of fire. Thinking about
Hmm.
fire helps us understand this suit. Fiery passions, heated tempers, relentless drive, these are all part of the suit of wands. More than
Okay.
anything, wands are associated with our will, our desire to express our unique selves in the world. Because of this, wands are often associated with careers and projects. This association has probably been strengthened because in America, what we do for a living largely describes who we are and how
Mm.
important we are. But let's remember that we are more than our jobs and that wands are also about creativity and confidence, about making choices in line with our authentic selves, and about managing our egos. Being yourself and living authentically in the world requires boldness and courage. Luckily, the wand represents those exciting qualities as well. The wand's court cards are considered to be very confident, charismatic, and attractive, whether in personality or appearance. They are exciting to be around and inspire action. Because wands are connected to fire, they are associated with the fire signs of astrology, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Okay. That's interesting. I think that's a good thing they wrote in there about like American culture and so much of your identity being in your job. That's a big
Oh,
thing.
for sure.
So that's really interesting.
Okay, the
Love.
cups are next, and these are the ones that are actually associated with us, Erica.
Yes.
So they're associated with water signs Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, and that's both
Interesting.
me and
Yeah.
Erica.
So wild.
The suit of cups is associated with the element of water. Thinking about water helps us understand this suit. Watery weeping jags, relationships with that threaten to drown us, and deep secrets are all a part of the suit of cups. More than anything, cups are associated with our emotions, our desire to know and to be known, and our need to connect. Emotions are so challenging sometimes. Other times, they are what make life worth living. The suit of cups reminds us that all emotions are a part of life. Like ships riding on a stormy ocean, it is all too easy to be tossed about by our feelings, losing control and going under. Emotional maturity allows us to swim instead of sink. This suit helps us navigate the sometimes painful path to emotional maturity as we celebrate the most joyous moments in our life. The Cup's court cards are usually sensitive, empathetic, and loving souls. The value connection and community. They also, oddly enough, can be solitary creatures getting lost in their daydreams. The Cup's courts are usually the artist of the deck, happy to be behind the scenes, behind the lens, or working in
Mm,
a studio. And then the cups are associated with Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I feel like
interesting.
I like that
Yeah.
description.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
I do think that's super interesting because I wouldn't have thought that I could
Yeah.
like associate myself with just a suit of cards.
Right. Right. That's interesting too because I was noticing just in general, forgot that Scorpio is a water sign, but there's water on my priestess card. So that's interesting too. Like the water in the moon is giving very Scorpio.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just
What's
interesting.
going to be crazy is if I do a little reading and I pull any of these cards that I'm talking about.
Literally,
I
that
feel
will be
like that's
interesting.
so scary.
I'm excited.
Okay, so swords.
Yeah.
The suit of swords is associated with the element of air. While air is invisible, we see its effects. Air is a lot like thoughts, in other words, swords connection. Worldviews about, I can't read today. Worldviews, opinions about truth, and communication. These are all a part of the suit of swords. This suit traditionally gets a bad rep because of many of the
Mm.
images are troubling. Our minds are powerful, they can be our greatest allies and our worst enemies. We don't always see it, but our thoughts affect our perceptions and even our reality. We can use our logic to untangle a knot, solve problems, or discern the truth. Conversely, we can create the biggest, hairiest knot ever known to become obsessed. Add communicating to others whose minds are just as mighty as ours, and you can just imagine the potential chaos. The sword court cards are associated with intelligence, wit, and rationality. They are
Mm.
precise and calculating, traits that can be blessing or completely frustrating. Because swords are connected to air, they are associated with the air signs in astrology, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
Mm. There's a sword on one of my cards too. My justice card had a sword, but
That's
that's
funny.
interesting. Cool.
Okay, and then lastly, we have pentacles.
What the
So
hell
this
is
is
a pentacle? I need to know.
it's like a
What is it?
star.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the devil has a pentacle? Question
Yeah.
mark. Because it's like
Yeah,
the upside down
pentacles
star.
are typically like the thing that you think of when you're like the star on the devil's head in the card.
Okay. Got it.
The suit of pentacles is associated with the element of earth. Physical appetites, the need to
Mm.
create, and the desire for security are hallmarks of the pentacles. These cards are closely associated with our resources such as money, time, health, and material items.
Mm.
From preparing a meal to building a grand cathedral, Pentacles is a suit of making, the desire to live peaceful, safe lives that can lead to laziness and greed. It is a short journey from stability to stagnation. This suit helps us to remember that wealth of any sort is meant to flow and that generosity, more than avarice, leads to an abundant existence. Acquiring things is the only one part of the Pentacles, stewardship is another. Caring for the physical needs of others, ourselves, and this planet that we call home is another more important aspect. The Pentacles court cards are often very concerned with the material world. They are usually good with money and making something beautiful out of practically nothing. Being
Mm.
naturally cautious, they may be considered boring by some, peaceful by others. Because pentacles are connected to Earth, they are associated with the Earth signs in astrology Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn.
Okay. Very interesting. I know this whole
Yeah.
time I'm like, I don't know what a pentacle is, so I'm glad we clarified.
Yeah. It is just a star.
Got it.
So
Okay.
now I'm going to talk a little bit about the exercises that you can do with tarot.
Eee,
So
I'm excited.
we already talked about birth cards, which I feel like was really cool.
Yeah.
And the next one is to talk about bibliomancy. I don't really know what bibliomancy is, so we're going to learn
Okay.
together.
Okay.
This exercise gives you an immediate introduction to at least one card. It is a stress-free way to do your first reading. Because the message may seem cryptic, it will also give you the opportunity to practice applying general interpretations to specific questions. It's also a fun and inspiring activity you can do whenever you want.
Hmm.
So if you have a tarot deck or your deck isn't handy, you can use this book, but think of your questions such as, what do I need to know about blank? Flip through the
Mm.
chapters or flip through your cards and you can pull a card. Each card entry has an instant answer, like I was listing earlier,
Okay.
and that message can apply to your question. In
Mm.
addition to the instant answer, you can study the card image and read the rest of the text on that page if you like. So, like I was reading
Mm-hmm.
earlier, you just sort of go through and you apply what that says to the situation of the question that you asked. I feel
Yeah.
like this is
That's
the
cool.
most common thing that I hear about
Yeah.
in like tarot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's where tarot card spreads come into play. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what is the story? What are we learning? And you're
Mm-hmm.
doing a reading to learn what that story is.
Yeah. For our listeners, I think this would be fun. If you all, and please like actually comment. I know I tell you guys to comment stuff and you don't listen to me, which is very rude. So if I tell you to comment, please do it. But comment below and tell me if you would like this. I think it would be really cool to open like a submission box at our Instagram story and have you submit your name and birthday. And then we could do a whole episode where we just read birth cards for our listeners. I think that would be
Oh,
really
for
fun
sure.
because I think it's just cool. Sometimes you just feel like you need to hear something. Like you just, this is something I've been noticing like when I go to church with Angela, I'm like, I feel just today specifically, I feel like there's something I need to hear and I need to go find what it is. And so I think this could be a really cool way to do that. So if you guys want that, please actually comment below on our, Spotify, YouTube, our Instagram, wherever we'll see it. But let us know if that would be a fun thing to do because you could submit your birthday and then we could like read your name and birthday on the podcast and tell you like your tarot birth card. I think that would be so
Yeah.
cool.
And I feel like I agree with that. And like what Erica's saying is sometimes you
Yeah.
just need to hear something. And I have only had a tarot reading done once in my life.
Yeah.
And somebody just offered to do it for me. I was actually
That's
at
cool.
Starbucks. It was after I'd
Wow.
clocked out and I was sitting there with one of
Yeah.
my coworkers and they were like, "Would it be okay if I like gave you a tarot reading?" And I was like, "Sure,
Love.
I've never done this
Yeah.
before." And every single thing that that person said to me, it hit.
Oh, I love that.
And I
Yeah.
feel like it's what you're saying. It's
It's
just
just meant to,
sometimes you need to
yeah.
hear something.
Yeah.
And
So if
like
you guys feel
I
that
had,
calling, let us know,
yeah,
please.
like I had no idea what my birth cards were. I didn't
Right.
even know you could have a birth card. And then I
Right.
read it and I feel drawn to the
Like
lover's
so,
card, but
yeah.
it's actually the one that is showing my weaknesses.
Yeah. It's who you, but that's weird because we both felt drawn to our weakness card.
We
So
did.
maybe that's a greater message of we're drawn to what we want to be, but what we're not
Mm.
yet.
Scary.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Love that though.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Okay, another exercise you can do with tarot is a card of the day. I feel like I've heard
Mm.
of this one before. You just
Hmm.
wake up, you pull a card,
That's cool.
and you write out your ideas of how that card applies to like your question. So
Yeah.
it can be like, am I gonna have a good day? What's
Yeah.
good gonna happen to me today?
I like
And you
that.
pull a card and you compare it to your ideas. So you can sort of do it as like an in tandem journaling activity. You write down like what
Hmm.
you want to come of your day, then you pull a card and you're like, okay, maybe I was on the right path or maybe I wasn't on the right path.
That's really cool.
And then tarot journaling, I'm not going to read too much about this because I feel like that one's pretty
Hmm.
like we already read a tarot journal prompt, so you
Hmm.
just pull the card and then you journal about it.
Cool.
You can also create an affirmation. So pick a quality or trait that you'd like to develop in yourself or attract into your life.
Hmm.
Select a card that represents that idea for you. Copy that image, cut it out, write the statement at the bottom, and place your affirmation where you can see it.
Nice. That's cute. I
Maybe I
like
need
that.
to do that with the
Yeah,
lover's
you should do
card.
that. That's a
I've
good
seen
idea.
so many cute lovers prints, and I feel like I just
Yeah.
need to get one.
Oh, I like that.
I like that idea too.
Ooh.
You can also do meditation, and my mom actually told me I should try meditating
Yeah.
and like be more intentional about it
That's
because
so
I haven't been
funny.
sleeping
My
well.
boss told me to do this too. She told me I should try
Wow.
meditating. And she's like, I know it's really hard for me personally, so I don't know. And I was like, yeah, it sounds very hard for me. I can't shut up or sit
Yeah.
still.
Like I don't know
Interesting.
how like I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if it would
This might
work,
be a
but
good guided way to do it.
yeah, so it says if you already meditate, you can use the cards to add variety to your practice. If you
Hmm.
aren't into meditation, maybe using the cards will be just what you need to find your meditative
Yeah.
groove.
There
Maybe
you
it is.
go.
First, decide how you will select the card that you will use for your focus. If there is a card that you want to explore more deeply, go through your deck and find it. If you have a question or just want a message from the card, shuffle your deck and randomly select a card while thinking about your intention, whether it's to find an answer to a specific question or to receive a special message. Look
Ooh.
at your card until you can visualize it with your eyes closed. Make yourself
Mm.
comfortable in a space where you won't be disturbed for at least 5 minutes. You can meditate longer if you want, but 5 minutes is a good starting time if you're now new to meditating. Take 3 long, slow, deep breaths, starting with your feet and moving up your body. Clench and relax your muscles and sink more deeply into your chair or whatever you're resting on. When you're ready, bring your card image to your mind's eye. So start thinking about it in the front of your
Mm.
mind. Allow it to grow very large, filling your entire internal sight. Step into the image, free the environment, noting all the sensations you experience. Begin to interact with the characters or the items in the scene. Maybe someone new will enter the area. Maybe someone will be there to give you a gift or a message. Ask questions. Be courteous. When you're done, thank whoever helped you and exit the scene. Open your eyes, move your hands and feet, and slowly come back into your ordinary reality. And then you can record your experience in a journal.
I like that. That was a really good step by step. This is everything you should do. Because I think it's hard when you think about, I was going to say mediating, not mediating, but meditating is it's hard. What I think of personally is just like sitting there in silence and you're not supposed to think about anything, but you're supposed to be silent. And if you have a thought, you're supposed to swipe the thought away or whatever.
I can't do
And
that.
that's so overwhelming when you've never done anything before. So I like that they really guided you through every step. It's like, this is
Mhm.
exactly what you should do. I like that.
Maybe I'll do it.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, and then make art. Of course, you can copy a card, you can like write it down, you can
Yeah.
try and like recreate it. You could blend 3 cards into one. You could create
Ooh,
your own version of a card.
I like
You
that.
could use photocopies to make greeting cards. I feel like that'd be
Ooh,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
But
That's
you can
really
just
cool.
use the cards to make art.
Thank you cards, like for your wedding or something. Make
Yeah.
like tarot
Oh,
thank yous. That would be cool.
with all the lovers.
Love. Yeah.
Aw. Yeah, I think that one's really cool. So next we can talk about some common tarot card spreads. So I
Okay.
feel like the most common way to see tarot cards is like to do a reading or to help tell a story using the cards.
Hmm.
So you can use cards to help you know what's the story. So without asking a question, without the intention of doing a reading, lay the cards out in different spread positions or even a block of 3 columns and 3 rows, some like 9 cards total. And imagine how an artist might use those images in order to create a painting.
Hmm.
Interpret the painting rather than individual cards. Individual elements or symbols will stand out, of course, but this approach brings a balance between the whole and the parts. So I feel
Okay.
like that's where you look at like the cards as a whole and like
Yeah.
this is all based off of imagery. So of course you
Right.
can like, look at them and be like, okay, well all 3 of these cards have angels in them. That's about a divine message. Maybe you're gonna
Yeah.
learn something new soon.
Hmm.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's really cool.
That is.
So there's
Love it.
common spreads. There's 3 that are in this book that
Okay.
it actually talks about. So there's the typical 3 card spread. So spreads are usually the quickest. You just pull a card,
Hmm.
you take the interpretation of that one. 3 cards are the most common. So you could do 3 cards. One represents the past, one represents the present, one represents the
Mm.
future.
That's cool.
You could have 3 cards. One's the dilemma. The second card is choice one, and then the third card is choice two.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. I'm getting so
You could
excited. These are
have the
really interesting.
situation, pro and con, the
Ooh,
situation, strength and challenge, the situation, obstacle and advice.
I'm so shook. I had no idea there were this many like variations.
Yeah, you could do
That's so
body, mind,
cool.
and spirit.
Love.
Person one, person two, the relationship.
Ooh.
And then the situation, do this, don't do this.
Ooh. Oh my God. Those are so cool.
I feel like I like 3 card readings the
Yeah.
best.
There's a lot of options there.
These ones I'll show a picture for. So there's the horseshoe spread and then the Celtic cross spread. So these
Mhm.
are the
Oh,
images of
cool.
like how you would lay out the cards,
Hmm.
and each card position has a different like meaning or like a different like it's
Hmm.
helping with a different aspect of the reading.
Yeah.
So in the horseshoe spread, it goes like in a U, an upside down U,
Hmm.
and it goes the past, the present, the future,
Hmm.
you in the middle, and
Okay.
then the challenge, advice, and possible
That's
outcome.
cool.
I like that one.
Yeah, I do too. That's really cool.
Um, then the Celtic cross, this one's like all over the place. There's 10
Yeah.
cards.
Complex.
So the first card, it covers you, what's
Hmm.
affecting you or the situation. 2, this crosses you. So it's literally laying across the first card. The obstacles or energies working against you. The
Mm.
third card is sitting above one and two, and it says, "This crowns you, your ideal goal in the situation." Four is below you, and it says, "This is your foundation, the basis or
Oh,
root of the situation."
cool.
To the left, there's a five, and it says, "This is behind you, influences that
Mm.
affected you or the situation but are now passing away." Six is in front of you, so it's "This is before you.
Mm.
This is what is likely to happen next." And then there's four cards like vertically
Mm.
beside the six, and it says one number card. Seven is how you see yourself in the situation.
Mm.
Eight is your house, the influence of circumstances or people surrounding you. Nine, your hopes and fears, your hopes or
Mm.
fears regarding this situation. And then 10, what will come, the culmination, resolution, or outcome of the situation.
Mm. That is really cool.
Yeah, I
Super
like that
complex, but I
one.
like that. Yeah. It's kind of
So,
like interesting related to Tai Chi, as we talked about with Feng Shui,
mm-hmm.
how you are the center and it's how everything else is kind of working around you. Or like in this case, it seems like it's what's behind you, what's in front of you, what are you built on, what is above you. I don't know. It's just really interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I would love to do a little three card
Yee!
reading
I'm
for
excited.
you.
I have
So
no
I
idea what the
want
heck to ask.
I know. I told Erica to think of a question blindly. I think it might be
Yeah.
helpful for you to go off of like a three card reading. So like
Yeah.
the past, present, future, the dilemma, the choices, and I can read them off to you again if
Hmm.
you want, but I don't want to know your question. I
Yeah.
want you to just think about it and
And then we'll
then
just read it.
yeah,
Okay.
because I want it to be like as blind as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just trying to think. If you do past, present, future, you have to ask a question and then it's going to tell you about like how does that one work? Or
Not
is that one more just
necessarily.
like
It's
about
just like
you?
about you. So if I pull a card and it's about past, like you could tell me if it's about your
Like
past.
accurate or not? Okay, let's do
Yeah.
that one. I think that will be an
Okay.
easy one.
Yeah.
Can you
I'm
do
gonna
one about
have to.
yourself? Like, can
I
you do it to
could.
yourself? Okay,
Yeah.
I think we should both do one.
Okay.
This
So
is fun.
typically in a situation, I feel like you bond with the cards. Like this is something that I hear is like you have to bond with the cards. You have to give them energy, and
Mm,
it's done by the person that is like getting the reading.
right.
Like you give the cards your energy, but like you can't do that. You're not here.
Yeah.
Typically you would also pull your own cards. So like you would
Oh,
come and like
cool.
you would like grab
Yeah.
one out. But if
Yeah.
you just want to tell me like when to stop,
Okay.
I could stop and like pull one from wherever you
Oh
tell
my
me to.
gosh, I'm excited. Okay. Sounds good. I want to do this all the time. I'm like, I want to do a
I
tarot reading every
know.
time. So
I
fun.
know. It is kind of fun. It's like, how's the episode gonna go today?
I know. Okay. Are you ready for me to tell you?
Yeah, you can tell me to stop whenever.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Where do you want the cards from?
The middle, like
The
somewhere just
middle?
random.
So
Yeah.
like just
Yeah,
three. Do you
like
want the
that.
cards to be touching?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Let's just take a
One,
little stack.
two,
Intrigued.
three.
Okay.
Okay.
And the first one you
So
draw is the past, or the first one you
yeah.
flip? Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna show you like into the
Okay.
camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So this is
Ooh.
the five of candles.
Okay.
So I'm
Interesting.
gonna sit that down and then I'm gonna
Okay.
show you the next one.
Okay.
This one is the 10 of potions.
Potions. Ooh. Okay.
And then this one is the
Ooh,
three
another
of
potions.
potions.
Okay.
Okay, so now do you want me to read you the meanings from the Hocus Pocus deck?
I don't know. Maybe either one. You
Actually,
pick.
let me figure out what these mean. I think the candles is the wands, but I'm not sure
Okay,
what
that's what I was
potions is.
wondering.
So just let me figure out what that one is, and then I'll read it out of
Yeah.
the other book because this one is pretty like, I don't know, like movie
Yeah, it's kind of
specific.
novelty. Yeah. Just a little
Yeah.
bit different. Okay.
I feel like it's meant to be pentacles because it's the last one
Mm.
listed. Yeah, we'll do
Interesting.
that. Okay, now we can get my other book.
Okay.
So candles would be wands. So a five of wands. Okay, five
Okay.
of wands.
All right. This is
Do you want,
my pass.
yeah, do you
This is
want
okay.
the instant answer
Sure.
for all of these, or do you want me to read
Yeah.
the whole thing to you?
Mm, I don't know. How do the instant answer
Okay.
for the sake of time, and we'll see if it. We'll go
Okay.
deeper if we want to.
So here is Erica's
This is my
past
pass.
card.
I have
The
a
instant
candle.
answer is check your ego at the door and keep your goal in
Mm.
mind.
Mm. Marissa, this is something I told you off camera. What I just said that I let go of something in the past year,
You
how I've really
did.
let go of it.
Uh-huh.
Wonder if this is going to be kind of themed. Okay, that I relate to.
Okay.
I really relate to that. I was telling
That's
Marissa before this, like there's something specific, but just in general, in the past year, I feel like I've really let go of things and just like stopped trying to control everything in my
hmm
life. Interesting. The
Oh my
chills.
God.
Okay.
Okay, so your next one is a
Okay.
five of potions. So this is
Mm-hmm.
your present.
Mm-hmm.
Need something? Ask. Then turn around and help someone else before they ask.
That's kind of
Y-
cryptic a little bit.
Well, I feel like if you think about what the past card was saying, you
Yeah.
just asked a question about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Wait, they are going to be themed.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the three of potions,
Okay.
Erica.
What is it?
So
My
there's this
future.
one is your future. Make something meaningful.
I'm sorry, you guys, that we're being so vague. It's just what it is. I'm not going to share, but like, what the hell? They're very themed to something very specific that Marissa and I just
Uh-huh.
had a conversation about before this. What the heck? That is
Isn't that
so
so
on
funny?
track. I'm like pooping because that is actually too a question that I was like, ooh, should I ask this? And then I was like, no, because I don't like I want to keep it private. I don't want to share it with the podcast, but I didn't even have to. Like I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
have to. It was just that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Oh my God. Okay. I
That's
want to
so
I want to
funny.
do your past, present, and future, and then do we have time to each do a question too? Can we do both?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, I don't know how long we've been recording, but I think we
Me
have
either.
enough
Why not?
time. It's actually been 55 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. We'll be
No.
okay. All right, let's
Okay.
hear Marissa's. Wait, that is I'm shook. I'm shook.
Okay. Let me shuffle again.
Huh. Ask a
Are you
question.
shook?
Yes,
Is
I'm
that
so
the
shook.
first time that you've ever experienced this?
Yes, 100%. I had no idea what we were getting into today, and I had no idea what to expect. I've never done a tarot thing, and I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked because it's just weird that I'm like, that's what I wanted to ask about, but I didn't want, like, I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it. And that's what it was about.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I'm
Interesting.
just shuffling them and then seeing if one like pops out, and one of them
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
So that's
That's
my
going to be your first
second
one. Oh,
one.
your second one. Nice.
Yeah. I'm making a
I'm
mess.
crying. They're all popping out. You have to pick them
I
all.
know. Okay, I'm gonna do that one.
Okay, let's see
Okay,
what
so
she
this is
got.
my past, present, and future. I didn't ask a question when I was
Right.
shuffling them.
Yeah.
So I'm
I didn't really
just
either.
going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my first one that I pulled.
Ooh.
I've got the Ace of
Ace.
Potions.
Okay.
So that's my past.
Okay.
The next one I have is the Two of Candles.
Okay. We both had potions of candles.
I know.
What's the
And then
last
my
one?
future. Oh, it's
Ooh, a
upside
new one.
down. It's the Fool.
The Fool
So I got a face
also has a
card.
candle on it too, which is
It
interesting. We both
does.
picked potions and candles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Ace of Potions. Oh, this
Oh,
feels not like a good thing for a past.
okay.
The instant answer is today is your lucky day.
I wonder
So
if it will like come more into context as we read the other ones. Like if it'll come
yeah.
around more. But interesting. Your
Yeah.
lucky day's over, bitch.
I know, apparently. Okay, so two of candles. So that would be a two of wands for people that are confused why I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
potions and
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Candles. Yeah.
So two of wands. So this is my present.
Okay.
If an opportunity doesn't make you say hell yes immediately, then just say no.
Interesting. That's something we've talked about on this podcast before in the past.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, and then the Fool. So this is the first major arcana card that I've pulled. And oh,
The
this
Fool.
is the Zero card.
Okay.
And it says, this is my future. It says, take a deep breath and then take the leap. I
Ooh,
feel
I
like
love
all of those
that.
things go together, but I think I'd have to think about it a little bit more and
Harder.
see what it would
Yeah.
relate to.
Yeah.
So in
You
the
guys,
past,
Marissa
I've
just read
been,
our like instant answers too. So like I'm sure if you
yeah,
read more in depth after this, maybe you can get a little more insight as well.
yeah. So in the past, I'd been lucky.
Yeah.
I have to say hell yes to opportunities,
Yeah.
and I have to take a deep breath and take a leap.
Take the
So I
leap.
feel like the last two definitely go together. But
Yeah.
what have I been lucky about in the past that I need to take a leap from?
Right.
I don't know.
Hmm. Or maybe it's trying to say like luck got you here, but going forward, you want to use more of your instinct
Yeah,
and
maybe.
not depend on luck or something. Like you really could take it any way.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
I think we should ask a question and then I
Yes.
just pull one card.
Oh, okay, I like that. How like direct do we make this question? That's what I'm a little confused about. Like, do I
I guess it
say
depends like what kind of
like
category do you want your question to be in?
yeah, it's is it like am I going to do blank in blank time frame, like a SMART goal, or is it just very broad? That's what I don't
I
understand.
think maybe be broad.
Okay. Let me think for a second. Okay, I asked a broad question.
Okay. Oh my God. Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay. If one pops out, just pick that one.
Okay.
And stop.
Okay, I'm immediately
Whatever's
like this. So what
take
do
that
I
one on the
do?
side that's furthest sticking out on your left.
This one?
Yeah, just like the furthest one. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm interested.
Okay.
Am I going to reveal my question at the end?
Sure, if you want.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so we have the
Five of
five of
pumpkins.
pumpkins.
Okay.
So now
What's
I
a
need to figure out
pumpkin?
what pumpkins is.
Yeah.
It's the second one. So I think that that is
I'm wondering like
cups.
is because I was wondering like cups is water. So is one of the ones in the potion is potions water or no? Or we're saying pumpkins is water or cups. This is
It's
confusing.
cups.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so the instant answer is find a sympathetic friend and hold on tight until the rough waters of your soul are quieted.
That makes no sense to what I asked. So that's really
Okay.
interesting.
Do you want me to read the rest of it?
Yeah, what's the rest mean? Let's see.
The symbolism is grief.
Hate that. Okay.
The Five of Cups is about true mourning. Grief is what we feel after great loss. Mourning is the outward expression of grief. Our
Okay.
culture isn't big on mourning and will encourage you to get over it. The trick is finding the balance between repressing your grief and overindulging it. Make space
Mm,
for your feelings. Find someone who can honor your emotions and sit with you while you wait, while you process them and try and, well, without trying to fix you.
interesting. Okay, you guys, what I asked was I asked like what does 2025 have in store for me? Yeah. That's
Oh
really
no.
interesting, which I don't directly think that means like someone's going to die, but it but
No.
it it means grieving some part of something. Like it
Yeah.
could be grieving like a part of life or a chapter or something. So that is really interesting. That was not what I was expecting, but maybe
Mm-mm.
it's what I need. I'll have to keep that in mind this year.
Okay, I was thinking,
Yeah.
and I think that I have an idea of
Okay.
what it could
Tell
mean.
me. I'm so
So you have a
intrigued.
lot of changes coming
I
up,
do.
and with change, like grief is inevitable. Like you're
Yeah.
changing and like grieving what was past.
And
And
I'm
I
a
feel
control
like,
freak too.
yeah, and I also feel like you even said that you're like nervous to be farther away from family, so you're grieving like the
Yeah.
close relationships,
That's
maybe.
so true. And friendships, I already don't have a lot of friendships and I have a hard time making friends. And so to leave
Hmm.
the ones that I even do have to try to make new ones, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
And
totally
I feel
tracks.
like because you had asked the broad question of like, what does 2025
Yeah.
look like?
Yeah.
I feel like
Could be anything.
obviously there's moving and change. Like that's something that you're really
Yes.
passionate about wanting to do this year.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to know what you're gonna do.
Okay.
Do yours.
Okay.
I'm so
I'll ask
excited.
my question in my head.
It's cool to not say the question out loud before
Yeah.
pulling one.
And I feel like that's typical.
Hmm.
Like doing tarot readings, I feel
Hmm.
it's like you don't say what your question
Reveal.
is because you
Yeah,
should just keep it a secret.
I like that.
Okay. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay. I like him.
Okay. Let's see what it is. I'm so excited.
Five of Candles. I already got this
What
one.
the heck?
Okay. So Five of
Let's see if it applies to
Candles.
the new question.
Yeah.
Was that one you had or I had? I don't
I
even
think
know.
I had it.
Okay.
Okay. So the easy or the instant answer is check your ego at the door and keep your goal in mind. I feel like that
I
kind of
think,
answers my question.
okay, okay.
Did you have this
Interesting.
one?
I had that one. Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say, I think that was mine. That was my past. And I said I
Okay.
did that like in the past year.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So it says working in a group isn't always easy. The number five is inherently
Mm.
chaotic, so a competition that might bring out the best in people can quickly turn combative.
Oh,
Wills clash, disagreements abound. People might lose sight of the goal and become fixated on their own agendas.
okay.
Bring calm and calming energy to the situation to get back on track. This doesn't only occur when working with others. Sometimes we fight with ourselves. When you feel frazzled, slow down and refocus.
Ooh, does that give you more context to your question?
Yeah.
Wait, oh my gosh.
So I also told Erica something else off air that is
Uh,
like something that's happening in like maybe
oh
the
yeah,
next two
yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
And that could inherently bring chaos and it could cause
It will.
arguments and it will. It
Yeah.
will. And yeah, I feel like that does
Weird.
track.
You guys, listeners, I'm so sorry we're not giving you more today. We're like,
I will tell you, it's just I don't want to say it
eventually.
before it's not real.
Yep, that's exactly why I haven't talked about moving and stuff like that too, because I'm just like, we're not there yet. The thing,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to say anything until it's out there. So
Yeah.
until then, if you're like a close friend, you can text us and we'll talk to you. But
Yeah. Like I feel like everybody already
interesting.
knows about my thing that I'm
Yeah,
talking about, but I just want to
yeah.
make sure it actually happens before I say anything.
That's so wild, dude.
I know.
Well,
Did
that
you
was
like
really fun.
it?
Yeah, that was so fun. I want to do it again.
I do
So
too.
I don't know if you guys are interested in that. Please let us know. And like I said, you can comment. We could do birth cards, or we could even like if you guys want to submit like a question, we could even do that. Like maybe you could do. This is what I want to see. If you all are interested in that, send us an email and make the subject line tarot card reading, and then like 3 card whatever. Like whatever
Mm-hmm.
style you want us to
Mm-hmm.
do, and put the question in the body of the email. So I won't open it before, just like we did today. I won't know the question at all, and I'll just base off the subject line that your name and what kind of question you want to have answered, and we'll pull the cards for you and read them. That would be
Yeah.
super
Just
cool.
know it will be about a 2 to 3 week delay of you hearing
Yeah,
your
for
answer.
sure. For sure. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, let us know. If you're one of our friends, you can also just text it to us. But I think with the email, that would be nice because in the subject, you'll have the main stuff, and I won't read the body until we do it, just like we did, so that we aren't like
Hmm.
biased in any way of reading the question beforehand.
Yeah. And I
That'd
feel
be
like that's what I
cool.
really like because like if you go to like Salem, for example, like a place where I
Yeah,
got this book, I didn't want to do any tarot readings because I feel like it is biased. Like
it is.
it's what they're
Yeah.
doing there. Like they're trying to make a living on getting your
Yeah.
money and making you like giving you a wow factor.
Yeah,
And I
100%.
I don't want to do that. I want to learn
Yeah.
these
The
cards and I want to
authentic
learn how they
experience.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Oh my gosh. Well, this was so much fun. Thanks, Marissa, for leading us
Of
today
course.
because
I
that was
think I
really
might
cool.
order the Rider Waite deck. I
Yes, I
feel
think
like
that
I
would be really
might.
fun. We should do another episode where we use that one. That would be really
Yeah.
cool. We need to do it.
I feel like the imagery on these is a little bit less like easy to
Yeah. There
interpret.
really isn't like it's just candles. There really isn't on the other cards that we were showing earlier for our birth
There's a
cards. There's so much
lot.
to it. It's very complex.
Yeah.
Like the imagery in it, there are so many little tiny components. You have to look really closely to see all the different things.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool, I think.
So I just looked it up in a Rider Waite deck. I don't even know if this is a Rider Waite deck.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Never mind. I think they're like $25. That's not that
Oh,
bad.
okay. No, that's not too bad. That would be really
But I
cool.
had so much fun and I think I am. I
Yes.
know one of my goals this year was to be do more self-care activities and be intentional about it. And maybe
Yes.
I should do the meditation thing and
I
be
think you
intentional
should.
about it.
Yeah, that would be really cool. It'd be cool to see how that can play into your life too.
Okay. I'll
Oh
do
my
it.
gosh. All right. Well, like always, you guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram at We Run on Coffee. Send us an email, We Run on Coffee podcast at gmail.com. That's where you can send your questions for our upcoming hopeful episode. As long as you guys send them, we'll do it. If you don't, we
Hmm.
have nothing to go off of, so we won't. So truly, if you want to hear that episode and you want to have your cards read, send in your questions and we'll do that for you. I think that's all that we have for you today. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you watched the video, thank you for finally listening to me. You better.
We're
And
hot, okay?
that's what I'm saying, you guys. If you're not watching, you're literally missing out. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week. And with that, I'm Erica.
And I'm Marissa. And we run on coffee.
Bye.
Bye.